Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of October 28, 2024. I'm your host, Sharifa Muhammad MGT.
I'm Colonel AUC Oguntoye, an Infantry Officer. West Group of Forces. This group has enhanced their tactical position and inflicted losses on multiple Ukrainian brigades and areas across the Kharkiv and Luhansk regions. They repelled several Ukrainian counterattacks, leading to substantial Ukrainian casualties and the destruction of military equipment, including infantry fighting vehicles and artillery units.
Welcome to Frontline Updates podcast, where we bring you the latest updates on military operations around the world. Today, we have a special guest with us, Colonel AUC Oguntoye, an infantry officer responsible for leading ground operations. Colonel Oguntoye is here to provide us with an update on the progress of the special military operation as of October 28, 2024. Colonel, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to share the latest developments.
Let's start with the big picture. What has been the focus of the Russian armed forces over the past few days?
The focus of our operations continues to be on engaging Ukrainian forces across multiple fronts, including Kharkiv, Luhansk, Donetsk, and Zaporizhia. We are maintaining pressure on their positions, repelling counterattacks, and targeting critical infrastructure to weaken their military capabilities. Each of our groups of forces, North, West, Southern, Center, East, and Dnepr, has been making tactical gains while inflicting substantial losses on Ukrainian formations.
Let's dive into the specifics, starting with the North Group of Forces. What are the key developments in the Kharkiv region?
In the Kharkiv direction, our North Group of Forces successfully defeated formations of the 57th Motorized Infantry Brigade, the 112th Territorial Defense Brigade, and the 4th Border Detachment of the Ukrainian Border Service. This occurred in the areas of Volchansk, Goptovka, and Okremovka. Ukrainian losses included up to 115 servicemen, an armored personnel carrier, several vehicles, a 152mm Jayatsin gun, and a 122mm D-30 howitzer.
That's a significant hit to the Ukrainian forces. How about the West Group of Forces? What progress has been made there?
The West Group of Forces has made tactical advancements in the Luhansk and Kharkiv regions. We inflicted losses on the 44th Mechanized, 77th Airmobile, and 3rd Assault Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces. Additionally, we repelled 3 counterattacks from the 14th and 28th Mechanized Brigades and the 1st National Guard Brigade. Over 570 Ukrainian servicemen were lost, along with 2 infantry fighting vehicles, artillery systems, and other military equipment. The enemy also lost an L-119 gun made in the UK.
It sounds like counterattacks have been a recurring challenge. How has the Southern Group been handling those, particularly in Donetsk?
In the southern direction, we've been able to take more advantageous positions while inflicting severe damage on several Ukrainian brigades, including the 24th, 33rd, 54th Mechanized Brigades, and the 79th Airborne Assault Brigade. We repelled 3 counterattacks from the 56th Motorized Infantry Brigade, resulting in heavy enemy losses, over 665 servicemen, and a number of vehicles and artillery systems. This includes U.S.-made M119 howitzers, which were destroyed alongside a field ammunition depot.
That's a major blow to their forces. How about the Center Group of Forces? I hear they've made some important progress as well.
That's correct. Our Center Group has made significant gains, including the liberation of the settlement of Tsukurino in the Donetsk People's Republic. Ukrainian forces from the 24th Mechanized, 58th Motorized Infantry, and other brigades suffered heavy losses. We successfully repelled 11 counterattacks by Ukrainian mechanized and airborne brigades, eliminating more than 520 Ukrainian servicemen and a variety of equipment, including armored vehicles and artillery units like the MSTB and D-20 howitzers. We also neutralized an Israeli-made IEMHR tactical radar system.
It seems that these advances are happening across multiple fronts. What's the situation with the East Group of Forces?
The East Group has also improved its forward positions. We inflicted losses on the 72nd Mechanized Brigade and the 118th Territorial Defense Brigade. A counterattack by the 58th Motorized Infantry Brigade was repelled, resulting in the destruction of a tank, vehicles, and artillery, including a French-made Caesar self-propelled artillery unit and a US-made counter-battery radar. These operations have further disrupted Ukrainian defenses in the Donetsk People's Republic.
Shifting to the DNEPR group of forces, how have operations been progressing in the Kherson and Zaporizhia regions?
In these regions, our Dnieper group of forces inflicted heavy losses on Ukrainian formations, specifically the 35th Marine Brigade and multiple territorial defense brigades. Ukrainian forces lost up to 60 servicemen, several vehicles, and a 152mm D-20 gun. We also destroyed 2 Ukrainian electronic warfare stations in the process.
Air and missile operations have been a critical part of these engagements. Can you tell us more about how they are being used?
Our operational tactical aviation, strike drones, missile forces, and artillery have been consistently targeting Ukrainian military infrastructure. Over the past 24 hours, we damaged military airfields, UAV storage sites, and concentrations of Ukrainian troops and equipment in 142 areas. These strikes have significantly weakened Ukraine's operational capabilities.
Finally, let's shift to the situation in the Kursk region, which has been a focal point of this conflict. Can you give us an update?
In the Kursk region, we've continued offensive operations and defeated several Ukrainian brigades, including mechanized, tank, and airborne assault formations. Over the last 24 hours, Ukrainian forces lost up to 80 servicemen, several combat armored vehicles, and 4 cars. We also repelled multiple counterattacks, and 3 Ukrainian servicemen surrendered. Our operations in this region remained focused on preventing further Ukrainian advances and eliminating their presence.
That's a substantial amount of progress. Could you give us an overview of the cumulative losses sustained by Ukrainian forces in the Kursk region since the operation began?
Since the start of the operation, Ukrainian forces in the Kursk region have lost over 27,530 servicemen, 177 tanks, 98 infantry fighting vehicles, 106 armored personnel carriers, and a large amount of other military equipment, including HIMARS systems and other multiple launch rocket systems. These losses have significantly reduced their ability to continue operations in the area.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to provide this information. Israeli forces carry out multiple attacks on buildings in and around the Corniche area in Tyre. Israel's 24-day military operation in northern Gaza has killed more than 1,000 people, mostly women and children, according to health officials.